Well, here we are. We've got this stupid thing in here now. Trying to get U-Haul to do anything is just, well, I showed up there at 11 and I wasn't leaving until after 12:30 because it was this whole thing. But anyways, we have a trailer. Fortunately, this one does not have the ramp on the back, but I have ramps, so I guess we're good. I recorded a bunch more stuff in the warehouse trying to use this lithium-ion 24-volt jump pack, and I was going to make a video about building a wheelchair jump box. But as it turns out, there's some inherent issues with the way that thing is designed. And also, this GoPro mount, see this wobbly thing? Anyways, the audio is literally unusable. I can't fix it. So I'm going to have to film something later on. But this little tapping noise, well, here's an example. This questionable, from Amazon, 24-volt lithium jump starter. So we're just going to scrap that footage, and sorry. Well, here we are in the Echo box. I figured it should probably, sweep the place up, and this may be a really bad idea, but someone loaned me this thing. So I'm going to sweep in here. I think I might be done moving out of the warehouse. There's a little more stuff in here than there was before, but yeah, we'll have to organize everything. I don't really know what's going on right now, so I'm going to work on a few things, get a little bit of this organized, can move some of the crates and whatnot, but yeah, the warehouse is done. Hasn't really sunk in yet, but well, today, in theory, I'll be getting a phone call that will tell me for sure that the lease assumption went through. The new tenants have put in their application, and that was approved, but the owners have to rubber stamp the lease assumption. So, in theory, we should hear back about that today. And then all is well. And now here's some footage of one of the things I've been working on in here today. I've gotten, I can move around in here a lot better. I've gotten things organized enough to set up the, Final Cutter and stuff. But anyways, so the video's not 3 minutes long. Here's one of the projects I was working on. Learning new software. I've spent the last, hang on, let me turn off this music because copyright. I've spent the last, what? Oh, dang, it's like almost 6 o'clock. I spent the last 3 or 4 hours learning some new software, and has to do with making signs and decals using a printer, and also this here vinyl cutter dealy thingy. Now, previously, I had a big sign machine where this was all built into one. As it turns out, though, there are no mid-sized machines between the crafting level, which this thing is, and full-on production. The other machine I had was like $11,000. I ran that thing hot for like 7 years until the print heads crapped out. Making cool stuff like this. This is a one-off logo. Some of you will recognize this, but this did not exist other than made out of metal, and I reproduced that. Anyways, I have been working on making some little decals and stuff. These are for a specific project, which I'm not going to divulge in a video. And then also, I'm making some new brand name stickers for my soccer chair. I think I'm going to bring some of these with me to the to Nationals, in case people want to rebrand their chairs as well. But anyways, here's the workflow. these are just some basic labels. We got the cut lines on here and stuff. So basically all we do, we run this wizard here. Then we have to go in here and change our settings for decals. We're gonna make this landscape. Color reproduction's already adjusted, so we can change that. And we gotta drag this kind of over here like that or so. Then we will print it. And I've just been using this stuff here. It seems to work pretty well. I've got a matte version too, but the glossy seems pretty nice. Now we load this into the rear feed slot. Actually, using this camera makes it easier. I can see behind there. So we load this in, and the printer should grab it. There we go. And then this will take a few minutes, and I will come back to show you the rest of the process, which is kind of automated and cool. All right, we've got this, and we have to let the ink dry just a little bit. But while that's drying, yes, by the way, there's a lot of stuff in here. I moved just enough, or I shoveled things just enough so I have room to kind of get around in here. But what we have to do now, because the way this machine works and the way this works, I printed this on A4, but if I just load this directly into the machine, there isn't enough space between the end pinch rollers and where the cutting needs to happen. So we have to stick this to some substrate, which means I have to trim the sides and the back of it. Can't really do one-handed. And now that that's slightly smaller, I'm using a piece of cardstock as substrate. And yes, I know they have cutting mats designed specifically for this. I'm new to the crafting world. I'm used to production machines where you don't have to worry about any of this, and it prints and cuts all in the same thing, and it comes off a spool. So it's kind of backwards learning for me, as it were. But anyways, I've got it figured out. So we're going to orient this so it's close to the leading edge, because it's going to go in there this way, because I printed it landscape and reasons. We just need a gap down here. So now I'm going to use Kapton tape, because that's the only thing I have. And we're going to attach this like so. Then we will take this over here. I hope that USB cable doesn't mind being run over constantly. I had to get this little table. Anyways, excuses. So we will load this into here. Okay, that's now lined up in there. There is kind of a mark here, but it doesn't really matter where you start with that. I like to have it further back because, well, it leaves me more room. So now we go in here and we're gonna hit cut. Then the machine wants me to reset the origin, which is very easy to do. There we go. Now we can click next. And I will grab the wireless keyboard here. And what I need to do is line up this cutting head with that X there. And I can use the keyboard arrow keys to do that. So as I push the buttons, you can see it moves around. So I'm gonna get this lined up here. There we go, that looks pretty good. Now I hit enter and it'll move to the next registration mark. That one looks pretty good. We're gonna align it just a tiny bit. Hit enter again. That one, that's close enough. And this one should be pretty much spot on. There we go. Now we hit enter, and then enter, and then enter, and it'll start cutting things out. I'm just doing rectangles with rounded corners on these instead of trying to cut out the letters, because as you can see, that font is a little bit complex and doesn't really work with vinyl. And now we can take this out of here. See if I can do this in one shot. Okay, we'll set our keyboard back over here before we forget. And then let's take the load off the pinch rollers so they don't get dimpled. And we will slice this out. The only problem with working with non-professional stuff is you can see here, the backing started to tear. So I gotta flip this around and do it the other way and be more carefuling. And there we go. Now we have our decals here, and I can trim these out. And this material is thick enough that you can put them on by hand without using transfer tape. But yeah, there you go. That's how you use this. Where's the brand? Ah, Vivor thing and the software. Yay. Wait, more light. More light. It is 10 minutes to 6, and I just got the phone call I was waiting for. I had given up on it for today, but the owners of the property have basically rubber stamped the approval for the people to take over the lease. They're in the process of getting insurance. The paperwork will be countersigned tomorrow, and then from that point, I don't have to pay anything. I'm like, basically at the 31st, I am released of all interest in that space. Then I just have to talk to the new people, do the key swap, do the whole deposit transfer thing, blah, blah, whatever. But that was the big hurdle. So I guess the next sort of hurdle is getting things countersigned tomorrow. That officially releases my interest from that windowless Echo box. So anyways, yeah, I'm happy. I do believe we're going to call that good for the whirlwind that was this week and last weekend. Regardless, even if something goes wrong and these people don't take over the warehouse lease space, I've got backup plans to take care of it. It'll just wind up costing some money, but regardless, I'm done. I'm out. No more 90-minute drives through the worst traffic ever. Not just traffic, like people around Portland, especially in that general area, are a bit insane. So I'll be very happy not to be using all that fuel and going out there and spending all that time. And plus I have really good internet here. So I can, actually, well, this is the first video I'm going to upload from here. So kind of happy about that. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the live stream tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it'll be here. But once again, we're still screwing with the warehouse stuff. I'm going to have to drive out there one more time. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed.